What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Reality Theory. We appreciate everybody checking out our YouTube channel, following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. It's been great. We're going to keep putting out content. We try to release it every Monday. We're going to try to do it around 7 in the morning, so it's out there first thing for people Monday morning. If I can manage to get the editing done in time. It's not much, but, still does take a little bit of time. There's been a lot of hype lately around this Georgia abortion laws, all this stuff that's going on now. So we're gonna try to talk a little bit on that, what our thoughts are, and what we think. You may not agree with us, but
tough shit.
Yeah, I mean,
abortion's wrong, and that's the bottom line.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, so. I like to hear both sides of every story. There are always two sides to everything. I try to look at everybody's point of view, but it's still, still kind of shitty.
In my mind, you're killing a baby.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Whether you can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself, to make yourself feel better, but the bottom line is, when you get an abortion, I don't care how far along you are killing a baby. That's the bottom line. There's I don't know how else to put it. You can look at the science behind it or whatever it is that you want to look at, but the bottom line is you are killing a baby, an unborn child. So,
especially when it has fingers, toes, a heartbeat, a brain, eyeballs.
Yeah.
With brain activity, which I know a lot of people say they don't have brain activity, but they need to do some fucking research because they do have brain activity.
Yeah.
And it's been proven.
Well, yeah. They always tell you when you're pregnant, if you decide to keep your baby, they always tell you to talk to it and sing to it, and that it hears you, it learns your voice, it learns its sounds and whatever things that are going on around you while it's in the womb.
Yeah, so that's why dads will talk to the belly, kiss it, say goodnight. Because when it comes out, it's going to recognize your voice. Yep. Not just the mothers. It does hear the moms, obviously, every day.
Well, it has a deeper connection with the mother.
Well, yeah, of course.
But it that child will learn your voice. It does make a difference.
And realize we are saying child because that's what it is, even when it's inside your stomach.
Yes, it is still a child. It's still a baby.
Regardless of what anyone says.
Still a human life.
Because it's not just a single-cell organism. Even if it is, if they found a single-cell organism on Mars, guess what? They consider that life. But here on Earth, it's okay to just suck it out with something and throw it in the trash.
Well, that's what blows my mind, though. You hear all these things. You hear people talking about space and everything, and we may have found life on Mars, so everybody gets excited. Oh, what do the aliens look like? No. It's just a single-cell organism or, microorganism or whatever.
Or a fossil of one, not even one that's alive.
And it's like, oh, but we found life. Well, okay, you consider that life, but you don't consider an unborn child life. Okay, let's talk about that some more.
Yeah, that's your smart actors at work right there, and actresses who think they have a moral high ground because they're famous and they're rich. Think they can tell everyone else what to do.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Yeah, especially Alyssa Milano going on her sex strike. It's like she's telling women what to do with their body after she was pissed off because people were telling her what to do with her body. Well, guess what? It's not your fucking body anymore. If you have a baby in there, it's the baby too. Because these women are saying, well, it's my body, my choice. Okay, well, if you had an abortion and it was your body, guess what? You would die. But no, you're just killing the baby. Right. So that whole my body, my choice is a bunch of bullshit. Well, because that baby did not choose to be conceived. That baby did not choose to get chopped up into fucking pieces inside the womb and ripped out, or be chemically, because they have the chemical abortions too, and that baby is literally burned to death inside the womb. So there's no fucking humane way of doing it.
No, there is no humane way of doing it. What I do find kind of funny though is she's on a sex strike. Well, guess what? That's the best way to prevent pregnancy, so that you don't have to have an abortion.
Yeah, it's like we're pro-choice, pro birth control, pro condoms, abstinence. If you don't want to have a baby, practice safe sex or don't have sex. If you have that baby, if you get pregnant, I'm sorry, that's a life that you brought into this world, and you need to keep it.
The biggest problem is, everybody likes to talk about the the morality of having abortions or not having abortions or whatever the case is, but nobody ever wants to talk about people being careless. People are careless in this world today. I mean, just having premarital sex left and right, and getting knocked up, and it's okay if I get knocked up because I'll just go get an abortion. It's easy to do, no big deal. So nobody takes responsibility for themselves anymore, their actions, and they should. If the consequence when you have sex or before you have sex, the consequences of your actions. What could possibly happen. There's a chance you can get pregnant. Course. Birth control is not 100% effective. Condoms are not 100% effective. If you do not want to have a child, don't have sex. Wait till you're married. Get married, have sex, have children, if that's what you want. If you don't want to have children, then
So why is such a thing called masturbation? Absolutely. I'm sorry,
There are other forms of pleasure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to have sex with a person just to show, affection.
No. But, it's completely acceptable this day and age to go out, get drunk, have a one-night stand, and then a few months later have an abortion. Because, oops, I made a mistake. Well, you know what? If you make that mistake multiple times, it's no longer a mistake. You are intentionally doing it.
It's a poor fucking choice.
It's still, you're still intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be, look, everybody makes mistakes. It's part of life. It's part of being a human being. But you should learn from your mistakes. So I try not to repeat my mistakes. So if I do something once, oops, I made a mistake, I try not to repeat that process. And if you do 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you're a fucking idiot. And you should be sterilized.
And babies aren't a mistake. I mean, everyone says, we got pregnant. I mean, obviously, you weren't planning on having that baby. But when you have a child, that's a blessing.
Sure.
Children, I mean, yeah, they do take your time. They cost money. They are stressful. You lose sleep. But when that baby looks up at you and smiles and says, Daddy, Mom, it's like, that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
And people out there want to, as the Democrats up till about, probably still now, they wanted to kill that baby. Their whole plan on abortion was, if you have that baby, once it's on the table, we can get rid of it right there. We can terminate the life right there.
Yeah, after it's been born.
Yeah, after it's been born. And for some reason, they think that's okay, and they don't consider that. Their whole thing is, well, it's not a life until it comes out of the vaginal canal, but then when it's out, we'll still kill it. Okay, so you're fucking committing murder.
That's exactly what it is.
It's fucking murder. I mean, like I said, people may not agree with me. I don't give a shit. Abortion is fucking wrong.
It's a living being.
Yeah, like I said, there was that mother. She had cancer. She found out she was pregnant, and she was on treatment. Before she found out she was pregnant, she found out. She stopped having the treatment. She said, "I'm going to let my baby come out and live, and if I die, I die." She had her baby, and then she passed away.
Yeah. All
respect to that woman. She chose her baby's life over her own, like any parent would do.
I don't know that any parent would do that, but
a good parent would take a bullet or run through fire for their children.
I would say a lot of parents would. I would say there's a lot of parents out there who most definitely wouldn't.
Well, like these parents who are beating their kids and killing them, like all you see on the news every night.
But regardless, I mean, just because you may not take a bullet for your child or may not, sacrifice your own life for your child's life, a lot of people say that they would, but they don't know until they're in that situation. But either way, to knowingly kill a child when neither you nor them are in any kind of mortal danger is just reckless and stupid,
immoral,
and irresponsible. For me, it always comes back to the responsibility factor. Take responsibility for your actions. If you don't want to be put in that situation where you have to make that choice, then don't put yourself in that situation.
But unfortunately, that like you said, that's the society we live in now, especially with these.
It's with everything,
especially with these millennials and all these it's that everyone gets a trophy society.
Look,
and I got in trouble, mommy and daddy will take care of it, and that's how. I mean, it's a shitty world we're living in, unfortunately, with the mentality that these kids are growing up with.
But this,
and that's why we're getting these whiny motherfuckers. Oh, sex strike! No, my body, my choice. Stay out of my uterus. Okay, well, stay out of your uterus, but until you want that abortion, then you'll have freaking doctors and instruments up in that uterus sucking that baby out.
Yeah.
So where are you now with stay out of my uterus?
But the thing
you're
is,
okay with it?
You know, it goes back to the world that we live in today is a disposable world. Everything is disposable. Your cars. You drive a car for 10 years and then you throw it away, basically.
Cell phones, 2 years tops.
Everything. Marriages. The divorce rate is through the roof, higher than it's ever been. You know, and it's the same thing now with children. Oops, we got pregnant. Oh, that's okay, no big deal. We'll run down to Planned Parenthood or wherever and get an abortion. Problem solved. What is it, like $200, $300, $400, whatever? I don't know.
Well, Planned Parenthood. I mean, that's our taxpayers. That's our money going for these abortions when people are going there.
It's just free.
Well, because that's the whole point of Planned Parenthood. They do. It's either cheap, health care for women.
That's 10 times. That's even worse.
And they perform over 300,000 abortions a year. That's a lot.
It's insane.
And they've shown they've taken those body parts and they've used them for for testing, and they've sold them to other clinics.
It's
fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
And they deny it, but they have people on camera undercover going there, talking to these people, and we just chop them up. You just rip it out. We'll rip out a leg here, rip out a leg there. The baby's alive. Well, or they'll take the things and they'll crush its skull to kill it first. And the baby feels pain.
There was one story that I read where this guy was saying that his father had worked for an abortion clinic for years, in some form or another. I don't know if he was a doctor or if he was some sort of an executive over the company that was doing it or whatever. But he was saying that they would even, once they removed the baby from the womb, that they would even try to keep that baby alive for a certain amount of time so that they could harvest certain parts of that baby.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
They would intentionally keep the baby alive. They would tell the mother that they disposed of the baby or whatever, but they would keep the baby alive for a certain amount of time so that they could harvest certain parts of the child.
Oh, I believe it 110%.
I mean, it's sickening.
It is.
That's absolutely disgusting.
I guarantee if that was their kid, they'd lose their shit.
Of course.
But it's not theirs because,
But, then
it's fucked up.
You have these people that, they say, or these women that say, well, I don't ever want to have children. So if I get pregnant, I want to have the choice to get rid of it. Okay, well, if you don't ever want to have children, if you know that right now for sure that you don't ever want to have children, go get sterilized.
Get your uterus removed.
Go get sterilized. Oh, well, nobody will do it. There are other ways. There are ways to not have a child. If you do not want to get pregnant, there are ways.
Condoms, birth control, abstinence, and all these women. Not all women, but a lot of these people now. Well, birth control is expensive. No, it's not. It's not.
If you have insurance.
If you have insurance, it's not expensive. Sometimes it's free.
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of these people who are fighting for these rights are these young college-age women, these feminists or whatever, these millennials, and they don't have jobs. They don't have jobs, so they don't have insurance. So yeah, of course, birth control is expensive if you don't have a job, if you're not willing to work for a living, if you want to sit around on your ass and complain about the world and try to, it's so.
Well, and they don't realize too that it causes, abortions are obviously not good for the baby because you kill it. There's a lot of health risks with having an abortion. You can get sepsis, you can have hemorrhaging, and if you do plan on getting pregnant later in life, it can have complications for that baby as well and you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a serious procedure. It's not, they make it sound, and it may be simple for the doctors, but it is still a serious procedure, and it comes with consequences as well. you know, like you said, there are risks involved.
Yeah,
Major risks.
Especially when they use scalpel, you know, or the little, I forgot what they call them, to pull the baby out. I mean, the doctors, I've watched them on, you know, TV. You know, they have a bunch of you know, former abortion doctors basically going in front of Congress saying, yeah, I've killed over, like, you know, I've performed over 10,000 abortions and I regret doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're almost in tears, and they say, yeah, we basically have to feel around for what we think is what, and we just start yanking.
Yeah.
They could be grabbing something inside the woman's, you know, area down there and yank something, and there you go.
Yeah.
Now you're freaking hurt, and the baby's still in there.
Yeah. But you know, what's crazy though is that if something were to go wrong during one of these abortions, they'd be the first ones to sue.
Oh, of course.
Oh, well, you went in there and tore a bunch of shit up. Well, you kind of told me to.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
What did you expect? You kind of told me to go in there and tear a bunch of shit up.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Yeah. No,
Oops, I made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, you made a mistake by having a fucking abortion in the first place.
Yeah.
And especially these women that wait till, you know, they say, you know, 6-7 months. Now all of a sudden you realize you don't want to have a child. Well, you had plenty of time before that to figure this out.
It's just insane to me.
That's what I'm saying. With the Georgia law, they have that, you know, that new law. It's basically once there's a heartbeat, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
That baby is staying there regardless of what you want.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I believe life begins at conception. Yeah. If a single cell organism in any other planet in the solar system is life, then so is that baby.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other thing too is a lot of people are up in arms. Well, what about the rape victims or the incest victims?
There's rarely any cases of that happening, and it's such a small percentage, and that's the argument these people use to try to make their point, and it's a terrible fucking argument.
Well, even for argument's sake, let's say okay, we're going to allow rape victims and victims of incest or whatever to get abortions. How do you do that? How do you implement something like that? Because anybody can walk in and say, "Well, I was raped, but I need an abortion. I was raped." Okay, can you prove that you were raped?
They can't. I mean, because when rape, you're having sex with the person. I mean, against their will. When you're having consensual sex, it's sex. So it's very. I mean, they have a thing at the hospitals called rape kits, but I mean, people. I mean, I'm sorry to say, girls do lie. There's been plenty of cases where guys have been arrested, spent time in jail for a rape that never occurred, and the women will, you know, admit to it years
10,
later.
15, 20
oh yeah,
years
he never
later.
did it. And then what happens to these women? Nothing.
Yep.
They're scot-free. They got away with what they wanted.
Yep.
And that poor guy just lost 10 years of his life. I mean, well, they're not really in for that long. Because actual rapists don't even spend 2 or 3 years in jail.
Right, which is absurd to begin with. Look,
they should be castrated.
I'm not advocating for rape.
No, not at all.
I mean, I would string them all up by their fucking dicks and let them hang themselves to death. You know.
Yeah.
Let them bleed out to death. I can't stand that shit. If they really did rape somebody, but the problem is when you start talking about abortions and rape victims. Well, we should allow it for rape victims. The problem is that you can't just look at somebody and tell if they're a rape victim. You can't tell if they're telling the truth. So if you allow that, you're going to have all these women who want abortions and know that they can't legally get them unless they were raped. So they're going to go in there and say, well, I was raped. So now you're going to have this astronomical number of women on record saying that they've been raped and they need an abortion. So now your stats on rape just went through the roof.
And when the police show up, they're going to try to find they're going to try to find the suspect. I mean, I'm not saying all the women will. Some will say, "I don't want to tell you who it is. I want to keep it private." Okay,
I'm sure the majority.
But some of them will say, "Yeah, this guy did it."
Yeah,
and it could be someone that they never even had a romantic relationship with to begin with.
Right, and now that guy's life is ruined. I mean, I'm sure that the majority of the women who would be lying about rape are 9 out of 10 times are probably going to not mention a name because they know that they're lying and they don't want to send an innocent man to jail. You know, I'm pretty confident that, you know, they're not that, you know, they're not evil in that aspect. I mean, but they do want an abortion. So they're going to do and say whatever they need to get that abortion.
Yeah.
So
they're not sending an innocent man to jail. They're sending an innocent baby to heaven.
Exactly.
Because they're doing wrong regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many excuses out there for these women. You know, like I said, especially all these movie stars that come out here and tell us, it's like, who the fuck do you think you are? Big fucking deal. You were in a movie. You make millions of dollars, and you live in one of the most fucked up states in this country. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the most fucked up state in this country.
Yeah, I would say the.
And you think that, like I said, you have the moral high ground to tell me what I... No, go fuck yourself. Yeah. You're not in the real world. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Just shut the fuck up and let me live my life.
Well, the thing for me is that, you know, first of all, I don't even know why the government is involved in shit like this, you know, because...
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be.
I mean, murder is already illegal, okay? Murder is already illegal. So why is the government even discussing abortions? If you're getting an abortion, you're murdering a human.
Yeah, so it should fall under the murder category.
And leave it at that. There shouldn't even be a discussion about it.
Yeah, especially when there's a heartbeat.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's the one place I kind of lean on a little bit. Okay, if you legitimately were raped, you're going to go straight to the hospital. Well, you should.
You should. Not everybody does.
And get checked out. If you think you're pregnant, they have pills that you can take. I mean, like I said, I hate to say it, but if it's that, I mean, especially if she's a young girl, if they're little kids and they were raped, I mean, you've seen these cases where these girls are 10, 11 years old and they're having babies.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
it's sad. And it's,
yeah, because that can kill that little girl.
Yes.
So I mean, in some of those cases, you know, obviously, you know, some of these girls do wait because they're so afraid to tell their parents, "Hey, I was raped." Okay, where the hell were you? How did you get in that situation? And a lot of times, it could be incest, but I mean, there are ways to, you know,
look. I think the only
just get around. You know, just go to the doctor.
I think the only way that I could even get on board with any of this is if it was a life or death situation for the mother. A legitimate life or death situation for the mother is the only way that I could get on board with.
To a certain point, to a certain week in pregnancy. Now, if they go 9 months, like I said, I mean, women in my family, I've talked about this. I said if you were pregnant right now, and the doctor said either you're going to die when the baby comes out, or we're going to kill the baby, every woman in my family said that baby's going to live. Let me go.
Yeah, I mean
I would do the same thing if the doctor came up to me and said, this baby needs something from you, but it's going to kill you. Take it. We've had this discussion before we had kids. My wife always said, if anything's going to happen to that baby, if it's between me and that baby, you know, if you need to make the call, you get that baby. You know, you make sure that baby comes out healthy. Let me go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's sacrificing everything.
Well, yeah.
Obviously. I mean, and you know,
I mean, you can't give any more than your own life.
No, I mean, and if it's for your child, that's the best way that'd be the best thing to give your life for.
Yeah. I mean,
other than this country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a touchy subject. I mean, it really is. But like I said, that's the only, I guess, gray area, if you want to call it that, for me anyways. I mean, and that's my opinion. My opinion probably doesn't matter much to anybody but me, but that's just how I feel, you know. I mean,
well, like we said, everyone's gonna have their own opinion, and this is my opinion. But like I said, I'm not gonna go tell these women that are pro-abortion. I'm not gonna get in their faces and scream at them and tell them they're being immoral. You know, let them, if you want to do it, that's fine. Yeah. You're gonna have to deal with God once you get up there. But it's in my opinion.
It's crazy though, because you hear people, are you pro-life or pro-choice? I never would have thought that I would hear somebody say, I am not pro-life. You're not for life. You have no respect for life or people. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, think about the words pro-life. You're not pro-life. You're not pro.
They're pro-murder. They're pro.
It's crazy to me. I mean, think about it. Think about the words pro-life. You're not pro-life. everybody should be pro-life.
Yeah. It's like how would if your parents if like these women if your parents had gotten an abortion, guess what? You wouldn't fucking be here.
Well, there's a lot of them that probably shouldn't be here.
Well, yeah,
but that's another.
That's
another issue.
But I mean, some of these kids, it's like they could have been the next Einstein, the next brilliant surgeon. They could have it's like they don't understand what they're getting rid of.
There's no.
It's your child. You're killing your fucking child.
Yeah. It's
I would
crazy
give my life for my kid, and there's people out there just sucking them out and throwing them in the trash.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or people throwing them in dumpsters after they give birth.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about that in a long time.
Oh no, there was one a couple months ago.
Oh, was there?
They found a 3-day-old baby in a garbage can. It was still alive. Luckily, it was wrapped up in a bag.
That's crazy.
Someone found it was still alive and it's healthy.
Because I remember years ago, you used to hear all the time about these girls, giving birth in the bathroom stall at a prom or wherever, and just I just had a baby and I left it in the dumpster, or I threw it in the trash, or I tried to flush it down the toilet. Or
it's like, how can you not feel any attachment to that thing that you gave life to?
Because some people are like that, and those are the people who shouldn't be allowed to reproduce.
Yeah. And it's like,
and when I say they shouldn't be allowed to reproduce, I don't mean that they should be allowed to have abortions. I mean they should be sterilized and never allowed to have children.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always said, the way I think it should be is, and it's kind of iffy because then again the government, who decides, the government gets involved. But what I've always thought was sterilize everybody at birth, and then you have to prove that you are that you can have a child, that you're responsible enough and mature enough to have a child before you can get unsterilized to have a child.
Well, you got to come up with a way to unsterilize people later in life, especially with men. They can get their vasectomies reversed. Women may not be able to get unsterile.
There are a lot of logistics here that I haven't really worked out yet. Okay, it's all kind of foggy because somebody has to make that decision as well.
Yeah,
who's to judge that you're fit to be a parent? The government? They can't judge shit. I mean, they've proven they
can't do anything right. No,
but I don't know. I always thought that would be an interesting.
That's a topic for another.
An interesting way to look at things. Because think about it. For one, it would even if it wasn't a judgment call. Let's say you couldn't be unsterilized until you were 21. Or the way
if you can't drink till you're 21,
that's the
then
way.
guess what? You can't have a kid and have someone depend on you.
Exactly.
If you're young.
See, it makes a little sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'm not saying sterilize them at birth, but I get what you're saying. No, it does make sense.
I mean, if there was an easy way to sterilize and unsterilize human beings, it would make perfect sense.
And one more thing I want to touch on before we're running out of time. That child is not just that woman's child. That father needs to have a choice as well. If the father says, I will take that baby after birth and I will care for it and you have nothing to do with it anymore, that father should have a choice as well.
Absolutely.
Because that's half his.
That's kind of a touchy subject for me, because I've been in that situation. Luckily, everything worked out for me, but because I do have a son that I love more than anything in this world, and I wouldn't change anything about it.
Of course.
But had that not worked out for me and it went the other way, I would have been devastated. I would have absolutely been devastated. Yeah. And, everybody wants to dismiss the father's feelings. Well, it's not your body. That's my child in your body.
Guess what? I put it in there.
Yeah, without me, you wouldn't have it.
Exactly.
So it's just as much mine as it is yours. I don't give a shit. Anybody out there watching that disagrees with me, literally go fuck yourself. Because you have no idea what it feels like to be a father and not have that choice. And if you do, and if you have been in that situation and you still feel differently, then you can really go fuck yourself because you're just a heartless motherfucker. But it is every bit that man's child as it is yours. Yes, your body is your body, but the child inside of your body belongs to both of us. That is both of our childs. And if you don't feel that way, or if you still feel like a heartless bitch, then you don't deserve to have children ever. And you should go jump off a fucking bridge.
You need Jesus.
Yes, you need more than Jesus.
Yeah.
But they always want to dismiss the father's feelings and the father's rights. And yes, fathers do have rights, and they should have a lot more than they already have, because frankly, they don't have enough.
Yeah. But yeah, we can go on we can go on all day about this, but we are running out of time.
We'll touch on that again.
Well, yeah, no, we'll definitely do like a part 2 of this in the future.
Yes.
Once we start getting some feedback from our listeners, and once you guys start leaving some comments and start arguing with us, then we'll definitely come back and.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed I don't have anybody to argue with. No comments. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll probably get a few on this one. This will probably touch a few heartstrings, but leave us some feedback. You know, let us know what's going on, what you like, what you don't like, what your opinion is, what you want to hear about, all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and check out our YouTube channel at The Reality Theory Podcast.
It's just The Reality Theory.
Whatever, dude.
And it's The Reality Theory with no spaces in between the words.
Yeah.
In case anyone's having a hard time finding us, that's why.
Look, if you're watching this, you already found it.
Yeah, so
just
no excuse.
Just subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. That's about it for me.
Yeah, that's a good spot to stop at right there. So we will talk to you guys again next week. Have a good one.
Yep. See you later.